Okay, now let's move on to the next question, which is called default arguments. Okay, so let's see what it says. In this challenge, the task is to debug the existing code to successfully execute all the provided test cases. So the best questions ever is debugging, because we have to do very less amount of work here. So the code will be already written to you. In the existing code, you have to find the bug, so that all the test cases, whatever logged test cases are there, will be passed. Okay, so that is what we have to see. Then Python supports a useful concept of default arguments values for each keyword arguments of a function. So it is about functions argument. We can assign a default value which is going to be used as the value of said argument if the function is called without it. For example, consider the following increment function. You can see this function increment by, this is the function name, is defined. Then here you can see the arguments. You have two arguments, n and increment 1. So increment is equal to 1 is default argument. Default, if you will not pass this argument, it will take by default increment value is equal to 1, and it will return n plus increment, but you have to provide n here, right? This, if you will not provide while calling the function, it is fine. It will take increment value is equal to 1 by default. It will calculate and return. Else you can also provide it. So here you can see the difference. If you are calling increment by 5 and 2, the n value will be 5 and increment value will be 2. You are specifically defining here the argument. But if you will not define, what will happen? This will be the value of n 4, and by default increment will be 1, because you are not specifying here. So that is what default argument is. The argument values are. So you don't have to define, you don't have to pass the argument while calling the function, because it is taking a default value here when you are defining the function. So that is what default argument values are. Now what we have to do, we have to debug the given function print from stream. So let's open these guys. We are given with a lot of code, and you can see this shaded part, this part and this part. There is a different color, no? Here you can see. So they are not edited. I can't do anything. You can see I'm typing in keyboard. I'm not able to do anything. But this part we can change, and that is what we have to do, right? See, you can see I'm typing. I can type, but here in two places we can't type. So that is what it is saying. You have to debug this function print from stream using the default value of one of its argument. Now the function has the following signature. This you can see here, same like this thing. Then the function should print first n values returned by getNext method of stream object provided as an argument. Each of these values should be printed in a separate line. Whenever the function is called without the stream argument, it should use an instead of even stream class defined in the code stubs below as the value of stream. So you can see here the same thing is being used, default argument thing which you have seen here and here. You can see here the default the argument is not passed, only n value is passed, but here argument as well as this second argument is also being passed. So this is example of this guy and this guy. Okay, so so by default the stream value is even stream, but if you will specify odd stream, it will take the stream value as odd stream. That is what exactly similar to what you have seen here. Then your function will be tested on several cases by the log template code. You can see the input is read by the provided log code template. In the first line there is a single integer queue. So better I will explain here. Okay, so some queries will be given to you, integer type, that is the first input, and then every query is handled at once. You can see one after the other. So here stream name and n value is taken as the input. So here you can see stream name and value of n is taken. So stream name is odd and n value is 2. Here the query's value is 3. Then you have converted the into integer value of n, and if the stream name is even, if it is even, it is calling the function print from stream n, and else it is calling print from stream n comma odd stream. It looks complicated, but it is not. Okay, so if you will call via this, so it will take by default stream value even stream, it will get inside, and for n times the for loop is running, it is calling stream dot get next. So get next stream dot get next. So stream is even stream is where? Here, and get next is here. So it is calling that. So inside that, if you will see, self current which is initialized to 0 will be saved to 2 return, and then self current is updated with 2, and then 2 return, this value is returned. So actually 0 is returning. So 0 will return and print. Okay, if even is called, then it is running for n times, which is here you can see. So next time it will go again it will go, but this time self current value is incremented to 2. So 2 is saved to 2 return, and this will become 4 and 2 return and again print. So what it is trying to do is, it is trying to print the even numbers 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Similarly, if odd number will be calculated, odd stream with n, so here stream value will become odd, and here n value will be a stream dot get next stream is odd stream, and here you can see same stuff will happen. Self current is initialized to 1, so it will be given to 2 return, then it will increment to plus 2, which will become 3, and it will return and then print it. So basically it will try to print 1, 3, 5, 7 odd numbers in each line. So it looks scary but it is not. Okay, so here you can see, I'll give an example. Queries is 3, so 3 queries it will take, these 3. Then it will take stream name and n, and accordingly odd 2 is written. So here the value of n will be 2. Then odd stream is given, right? Odd will come. Then here it will be odd. So n value stream dot get next. So odd will be called. Self current is 1. So 1 will be printed. Then 3 will be printed, right? Only 2 times it is printing because n value is 2 here. So 1 in 3 will be printed. Similarly in even it will be printed 0 to 4, you can see here. Then odd 5 means 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, you can see here. So that is how it is working. What's the problem? We have to debug, no? We have to debug here. What's the problem? So just try on your own. You should be able to look at it. Looks nearly perfect, no problem at all. But there is one catch. Just try on your own. And if you have tried, now watch. So what is the problem? You can see these values self current values are not being updated for next query. That is the problem. So when you are incrementing, but you are not initializing it to again to 1. So this guy is not being called. Okay, that's the problem. This guy has to be called so that for next query it can start again. Self current value is same. Self current here also is there, here also is there, here also it's there. So how you wanna continue with the next query? So you have to initialize it somewhere. So where I'll initialize? Here only. So before calculating the next query, we'll do stream. So whatever stream is there, inside that it will call for dot what do we have to call? We have to call init, no? So init I'll write, and I'll write bracket. So this init we have to call, and we don't have to give the argument because it is self. That is how just this line you have to include. Why I am writing stream dot? Because you don't know which stream it is being called. Means like for odd stream this guy will be called, and for even stream this guy will be called, right? So that is why I had to do stream dot init bracket, right? So yeah, so why it is showing this is stream. Yeah, so let me remove this and first I show is there they are taking the code or not. Looks great. Congratulations, we have not done anything, still it is showing sample test case is passed, but when you will submit it you can see all the test cases are being failed. So if I'll put the code back again, that is the debugging we have done. Now still it's showing sample test case pass. Now all the test cases are passed. Okay, so hopefully you are able to see we are not initializing the self current value. That will be initialized according to the stream selected, whatever the stream will come here. If stream is odd, then it will initialize this guy, it will call for this guy, and if it is even it will call for this guy, right? So this was the debugging. Let's move on to the next question.